Wouldn't it be nice to have your own virtual alarm system without even having an alarm system in your house or apartment, but with all of the features? Or even more? Of course. That's how an alarm should look like. Red blinking lights, very annoying, or also normal lights blinking. Don't you think so? And that's why we are looking at this tool right now. So you now may wonder which kind of tool I mean. And the tool we are looking at is called Alarmo, an easy to use alarm system integration for Home Assistant. I would also recommend installing the Alarmo card because it's specially made for this alarm and you can use it for typing in the key, the PIN key, and also setting the alarm up easily. I would recommend it. So if we have a look at the Alarmo documentation, we can see the documentation is very huge. You can see it's well documented. You can see everything here and also what is happening. We also have the possibility, I already tell you, third-party platforms to use them. For example, Android MQTT, Alarm Panel, Apple HomeKit, Google Home. Of course, you need more configuration then and also configure these devices. I will not show you how to do this. Even I don't even have an Apple HomeKit, so how should I? But you can do this if you want to. So, and if we have a look, we can see we have three parts here. We have the component one that makes everything possible. So we have all the states, we have our alarm panel and whatever. Then we have the GUI where we can set everything that we can also already see here as a little teaser. And we have a card to arm it, disarm the alarm and do whatever you like to. So as we can see here, we just see the screenshot, but we will have a live view later on it. So we don't need to look at this right now, but we can see how the functionality is going on. In a normal state, of course, the alarm is disarmed and disabled. Then we are going to arm and say, okay, we want to arm because we want to leave the house. But the problem would be if you instantly arm your alert. The problem would be you are still inside the house. Not already, you are inside the house. And the problem is we need a delay, a leave delay, because otherwise you can't leave the house. Of course, maybe if you have a phone, you can also arm your alarm from outside, but normally you will do it with your dashboard tablet inside of your hallway or something like this. And then you need this delay. You can specify it yourself. So no matter how much time you need, you can specify it here. And otherwise, if you wouldn't do this, and have a sensor, for example, at your door, you would open the door and the alarm would be triggered. And you just want to go out. That doesn't work. If the alarm is now enabled, the sensors are of course watched, and if a sensor is triggered, then we can have a short pending phase where we also can say, okay, we are allowed to enter the house again because we may unlock the alarm again, so we are back at disarmed. But if not, and this entry delay expired, then the alarm is triggered and the sirens are activated, the light is blinking, whatever happens, you can do whatever you want. You get notified, the cameras are going on, are recording the person that is going inside your into your apartment or house. So you can do whatever you like to do with all Home Assistant sensors and possibilities that are given to your special instance. So we have the modes that we can say we are away, it is just at night, we are at home, or we are on vacation, or also something else, I don't know what, but there will be a use case maybe for you, don't for me, but maybe for you. And here we can also see the states and also attributes that we can see, okay, which sensors are really open, which ones were bypassed, which one really changed, what was the cause, what caused it, because we need this for example, notifications on the phone. We can have different areas, which is also very interesting and useful. Like it says here for your garage, garden, if you have the first floor of your house, the second floor, or whatever. If you live in a penthouse with multiple floors, if you are rich, maybe you should get a real alarm system and not only the virtual Home Assistant one. But for normal people, for most of us, if you don't have the real painting of Da Vinci at home, doesn't matter. It will fit for you. So we can see alarm master, whatever, sensor types that are supported are door, window for motion, like presence also, motion for real, temper sensors like vibration or also sound, even though smoke ones, carbon monoxide or whatever you can imagine. Then we also have these options, exit delay, entry delay, but we will come to this later, so don't worry. Also, you can do a little more security by codes, like this little alarm pad at some hotels where you have your own code or something like this, or Airbnb in a vacation. And we can see here the push notifications that can be used if we arm something, and you can say what you want, and we'll also have a look at this. And it could also be possible, like this example here, your alarm could not be armed because the back door is open. It's nice, you want to go on vacation and think, yeah, nice, I will lock this alarm, we have the best time now, and then somebody accidentally forgot that the back door is open. Nice. Just a free entry. You think, okay, everything is fine, I can go without any thoughts, I have no problems at all, and somebody left the back door open. Very nice. Good job. Then you can go there, close the back door and say, okay, retry to arm please, and do it, and everything is fine. Or you can just say, maybe it's a back door, you consider it's okay, it's open, because maybe it's just not a back door, it's just something for your cat, a little flap, wherever you should have a sensor there, but who knows, maybe you want to know when the cat is going inside or outside, whatever. And then you could also say, okay, I don't give a please force the alarm. Or not force the alarm, force to arm. But it is also possible, if you have some sensor like this, to exclude this one, or not include it, or exclude it for special cases, like exclude it only for the vacation, arming. There are very many options you have. So, and of course, if you have installed Alarmo via the Home Assistant Community Store, don't forget to click on Settings, and you will see the one here appear. There will be a one at least. And it will say restart required, because only after the restart is done, Alarmo will appear and you can use it. It will not be here like for me. You would click on the right corner here, add integration, and then say Alarmo, click on it, and you could configure something, I'm sure. And you may also can configure if there should be the Alarmo thing on the left side, on the sidebar. I would recommend it, but do whatever you want. So, and then we can go into Alarmo and say, okay, we can have a look at it. We have just the option, okay, configure is again the wrong one. I want to show you this one first. We can see I have 4 automations for this, and we can see I have just one area that is called area Wohnung, apartment. Basically, you can say apartment, it's the same, but sorry, I'm German. Then we can also see, okay, we have this arm, vacation, night away. We can set it by here, no problem, you can do whatever you want, but we will also have the possibility to have cards for this. So, and if we open Alarmo here on the side panel, for example, then we have several things. We have general modes, areas, whatever you want. Let's start with normal sensors. Then I would say, okay, let's start with the areas. I only have one area for my whole apartment, so we say, okay, this area contains 3 sensors and 7 automations. If we click on sensors, we get back, or we get to another tab, the sensors one. We can see I have a window, 2 window contacts and 1 door contact here for my bedroom, living room, and my entry door. And I use them for the away modes, for the arm modes away, vacation, and night, all of them. So you can also set it here. You can say, okay, I want it for this one, for this one, for this one. Or you could also set up a group, because it makes, of course, sense if you have multiple doors, if you have multiple windows in your room, you don't want to configure them all manually. So you can just say, okay, set up a group. You could also do this by the helper functions of Home Assistant in this group functionalities, but maybe you only need them for this use case, then it might be easier for you. Then we also have advanced settings, where I can also tell you something I have done for this special thing here, for my contact, my open window contact in my bedroom, that I allow it to be open initially, because I live on the 2nd floor. I don't think somebody gets onto the 2nd floor from the outside to get into my bedroom. I don't know what he or she wants to steal here. Nothing worth it to do this. So I say, okay, I don't care. If it's opened while arming, ignore it. Just ignore it. But you can also say then, exclude the sensor if it is open while it was armed, so that it is not triggered. And you can do the exact same for the other ones, for this window sensor or also this door sensor. For example, I haven't done this here. I have used some use entry delay, of course, but not something like allow open initially, because it makes no sense. If it's my door, of course it needs to be closed. You can add, like we have seen, every sensor you want. It makes no sense. It's for me right now. Here are also gasoline locations in my area, or also the trunk of my car. I don't care about this sensor if it's open or not. Of course, you should only select these ones that make sense for your area or apartment, house, whatever. If we go back to general and have a look again at the modes, we can see, okay, we have armed away, for example, here, and see, okay, I have enabled this because it should be possible to arm this one. And then we have this, what I said, the exit delay. I gave it to 1.5 minutes. That means if I press the arm button, I have 1.5 minutes to leave and close the door until the alarm would be triggered. Because if I would open the door from inside after that, then the alarm would be triggered. I also have an entry delay, which means after the sensors are really triggered, it needs 5 seconds delay until it really begins. And also we can say how long should the alarm remain in this state. I have set it now to 45 minutes because I said, if I'm not here, not looking at my phone, not realizing somebody is into my apartment or into my house or whatever, and even the neighbors are not hearing the sirens or seeing red lights blinking and I don't know what, then sorry, I can't help anyway. Then 45 minutes are more than enough. But you can also set it to 0, then it's infinite. So don't worry about that. You can do whatever you want. And also distinguish between night or vacation, where I don't have set one of these. If we are now clicking on codes, we can also say we require a code for arming or disarming, which could make sense for more security. Because if there's somebody inside your house and you have your smart home dashboard on the wall and it is active, then he could just disable without a code. He could just say, okay, I click this there, okay, alarm is disabled, nice. I mean, you could still have recorded him by camera or something like this, and the record would be there, but still not the best thing, I guess, because nobody will interrupt him. You can also say if it's just for arming or just for disarming, can also say if it's a PIN code or a password also. And we can also add different PIN codes for different users with different types of options. So if I can say now new user, could give him a name, could say, okay, that's my code, that's whatever, that's okay, I need to confirm it, and which this code should be for, like the person could have 2 codes, one for arming, one for disarming. Security at its best. If it's really needed, you have to decide for your use case. Then we also have the actions, which are distinguished between notifications and actions. So I'm sorry that they are in German, but they are called in German because I'm in German. We can have a notification if something is triggered. So we can see here, it's better for you, alarm is triggered, and then I can say, okay, alarm was triggered, and it also sends me the cause. I can say open sensors, also with a language tag. I can say, okay, send it me in the language DE, like you can see here for the wildcards and stuff, and can also say how it should be named. That's basically it. It would work like this. I can also show it to you on my phone. We can also get a notification, like we have seen on the example page of GitHub or of this Alarmo integration, that if it's failed to arm, hey, it could not be armed because Also, very good idea that you already know what is happening, why did it not work. Then you could also get a notification if the alarm is no longer triggered. Then you just get a simple notification. If you need this one, if you don't like it, just deactivate it or not create it because they are not there normally. And you can also get a notification like I did for when I arm this one on a vacation mode, because this I would probably do with my phone when I'm not even anymore inside of my house or apartment. And then I want to really know, did it work? Is the alarm now set? Because otherwise there can always be some problem with your Home Assistant instance or your internet did not work. And if I get this notification, I know, okay, everything worked fine. I'm good. I don't worry. You can also see it here with the ARM mode. You can also say what the ARM mode should be, what the ARM mode is. And that's very nice. Now an even more important part is the thing of the actions. We can have different things. The first thing here is siren, for example. We have an Amazon sound here. there you need very surely another configuration with Amazon developer account. It's just not done by the Alexa media player or something like this. That is, if you Google this one here, you would find out about this. There are videos on YouTube how to set up it. And this would play on my Echo Dot in my living room, some kind of siren sound, sci-fi, whatever, and so loud that I guess the neighbor would think, what the hell is going on? I also would do after this some text-to-speech thing. I would say, okay, the police is already called, so that the person knows it or maybe thinks, okay, I better leave. Before, even if the person is in, it does not mean that that something already is stolen. So you can still have a little fix for it. And last but not least, I had the possibility to use, because of my Spotify premium account, I can already say, okay, just play on my living room via Spotify, like a song, a media content ID, alarm tones, alarm, and then it plays an alarm tone that is very long and very annoying. That's a good idea to have. So much for that. Now we have a look at the automations. So we can see here if this entity, which is the alarm area for me, Wohnung, changed to triggered. So if we have an alarm that is really happening right now, then we need to do something that is to snapshot all the lights, because I want my lights to blink to annoy the housebreaker and also maybe that somebody else recognizes it. So I say light.all lights, it would be in English all lights, then all of these lights would be snapshot in a scene before alarm. Of course, you need this group here. You use the helpers for this, that you can say, okay, I have light with all my lights. Of course, if you add some new lights to your house, then you would also need to add them there. You could also only create a group for all lights that should be considered in this case for this alarm. But I use all of them, I let everything blink, so I need this. After that, I need a little fix for something. I need to turn on all lights that contain colors, because otherwise I could not fix it later if I want to switch the color back. So I need to say, okay, please turn the light on for all these things that have a color in the light or are able to show a color or not just white. Then I need to do a snapshot again, I call it before alarm lights on, and do it again for all these lights. But you could also do it just for the colorful ones. And now the important part becomes here. We confirm that it is still triggered. The alarm is still triggered. Everything is dangerous right now because somebody is in and it was no fail alert. So we have this condition and also the condition that I have said, okay, I don't want it to be infinite. I just said index of 500. It's long enough, way long enough. Only then we say we run two actions in parallel. One for all these lights that have just a white tone. I can say, okay, full brightness please. And I just say go on or not go on. We toggle them so we can say, okay, go on, go off, on, off, on, off. Why we don't use flash, I can explain you very short. The problem is short can only be set to long or short, and you have no influence on it. You can't specify how long, how often, whatever. It just does not work. So we do it else. So we have another one here for the toggle for the bright, for the lights that are colorful, because I want that we have the color red. And to really use this toggle, we need to set a delay for at least 1 second. So we have it for 1 second on, off, on, off. That's the best way to do it. After this repeated action is done, I have set a delay for 3 seconds because it needs a bit of time to really realize, okay, everything is over now. We want to go back to something else. And then I really need to say, okay, we need to activate the scene that we have created before alarm lights on. That's the one we created here as the second one. Not the first one, the second one, the second scene. As we, okay, not here. Here, the second scene. Because we just recreate the colors here that were set before. So for example, this one there. But that's just more about the colors. Then we can still say, because the lights were on at this time, they weren't on when the alarm was triggered. We want them to get off again. We need to trigger or activate the scene before alarm that we first created then. And then we are good to go. It works fine, as you have seen in the intro. Another thing would be use your alarm based on geofencing. Because I'm at the home of freaks, that's my home, I feel very good here. That's my zone of the home, and if it drops to 0 people, of course it makes sense to automatically enable the alarm or arm the alarm, not enable it, arm the alarm. So, and I also confirm that it is currently, this area is disarmed, so it's not already armed. Then I just say, I call a service, arm away. I want it in away mode because I'm away just, or my family or whoever is away. And you can set it to your area that you want. Then you could do the same. You could also do it in just one automation, but it's easier to show it to you like this and also to maintain. When it changes from 0, good. We have not considered that it could become unavailable, but normally the zone where you live in, why should it become unavailable? It won't. When somebody comes home, also with the geofencing, so you know already before they are home, so the alarm is not triggered as they open the door. Then, only if the phone is going down, if your phone's battery is going down, then okay, then you have to live with the alarm inside your house and take care of it. But yeah, there are also always worst cases. Then just say disarm and you are fine. Then we have 2 different alarm cards here. The first one, the upper one, is the one of Home Assistant, that is really the normal one. And then we have also the one that is the Alarmo card, so the panel. They look very same. This looks a bit better also with animations and stuff. And you get to this point here. You can also do your own stuff. These are the possibilities you have. I hope you enjoyed this video and you are ready now to create your virtual alarm system for your house or apartment. If you want to see anything else, leave a comment below. And I also would be happy if you subscribe to the channel, because otherwise you do something wrong in your life. Just kidding. See you. Bye bye.